Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Please don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time of watching. So in today's video, I am going to teach you how to cut a camp collar shirt, and I'm going to do it on this paper illustration. I made a material illustration, but the video was too long. I couldn't download it on my phone because I'm using my phone to video the whole process. So I had to quickly do the paper illustration for you guys. So let's get right into it. So cutting a camp collar shirt. The first thing you're going to do is to measure the length of the shirt on your material in case you're cutting from your material. Measure the length of the shirt, and from your center front, you're going to come in by 5 inches. Then you mark it down. Mark the points so it can be on a straight line. Then connect all the lines together. So after connecting the lines, the next thing you're going to do is to come in from the line, the 5 inches line you marked. You're going to come in by 1 inch. Mark 1 inch down to the other end. Then you connect it. So the 1 inch that we marked is going to be the button allowance for the shirt. I'm trying to write it down. So we have created the button allowance of the shirt. So we are going to fold in the remaining 4 inches that is left for the button, for the camp collar. So we're going to fold it in. But before we fold it in, we are going to mark our shoulder measurement, our shoulder circumference. Divide by 2. Mine is 16, divide by 2 is 8. So I am going to add extra half inches, making it 8.5. Then I'm going to mark down the point. From my shoulder measurement, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then I'll pin down the points. Then from the center of the button line, I will mark 3 inches for the neck width. That's the wideness of the neck. I'm going to mark it down, and when I'm done, I am going to come down by 2.5 inches for the neck depth. Then I will connect it together. Yes, like this. So on our shoulder slope, we're going to connect the lines to the neck width. Then extend the lines of our neck depth to the center front. Yes, like this. So next thing we're going to do is to mark our armhole point. My armhole point is 8, so I'm going to mark it down. So after I'm done marking it down, I have to turn it over to this side so that you can see it very clearly. So I'm going to make sure that the 8.5 inches for the shoulder measurement is still intact down to my armhole point. So I'm trying to mark my armhole line. So I want it to be on a straight line. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect the line down to my armhole point. We are done. So guys, next thing we're going to do is to mark the armhole line, to extend it to our armhole as our chest line too. You can also use it as your chest line. So we are going to connect by coming in by 3/4 inch. So it's not much that I'm going to use my tape to do it. I could just use my ruler to come in. Yes, like this. So the next thing we're going to do is to mark our body points. That is our bust point, our waist point, and our hip point. I'm going to use 11 inches as my bust point and 16 as my waist, then 24 as my hip point. Then I'm going to mark a straight line on them. So after properly lining everything, I had to write down the points. So I'm done writing down the points. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start putting in my measurement. My bust measurement is 9 and 2/8. I have to write down 9 and 2/8 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. And my waist is hip 8.5 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. The 1 inch is for the allowance, while the half inch is for ease. The half inch is for the allowance, while the 1 inch is for ease. So guys, we are done marking down the points. I am going to connect it on a straight line. There is no need to curve it because it's a shirt, it's a t-shirt, it doesn't need curve. So I am going to use my hip measurement and allowance to connect to my armhole point. So I am done connecting everything. It's time to start cutting out the excesses. So we are done cutting the front piece of the shirt. So we're going to fold in the excess in the front. You're not going to cut it out, you just fold it in. You're going to see how helpful it's going to be. So it's going to be the cam collar. See how I'm going to fold it right now. This is how it's going to be on your material. Guys, this is how it's going to be on your material. The 4 inches left that we just folded is going to act as a facing on for the collar. So this is how it's going to be. It's very simple and beautiful to make. For the back piece, I used my front piece to cut out the back piece by folding in the 5 inches allowance that I marked out previously on the front piece. So I am going to cut out. Then on the armhole line, I came in a bit on the front piece, so I am going to come out the back piece. Then you cut everything out. Then on the neck depth, my neck depth for my back piece, for the back piece, is going to be 1 inch. Then the wideness is still 3 inches. Then you connect it to the weight. That is how I to cut the back piece of the shirt. So guys, this is very simple to make. You can start practicing. It's never too late. So guys, thank you all for watching. This is just a simple way to cut your shirts, your front piece and your back piece. I have a video on how to cut a collar and a shirt, a sleeve, the shirt sleeve, so you can go there and watch them. And God bless you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I love you. Bye.